Cheryl Gaynor, and I would like to share one of my favorite lessons with you. This is a lesson that all of my students thoroughly enjoy. I was fortunate enough early in my career to attend a geometry workshop that helped me to think outside the box. So in order to complete the project, you're going to need to make 6 square pieces of paper. So the first thing I have one of my regular notebook papers, and you can see that this is the holes, and I got it out of a spiral notebook. So I'm going to cut right along the red line and try to cut as neatly as you can. And we can see that the red line is making perpendicular with all the blue lines. So that cut off the edges. And then you might have a rounded edge over here. Don't worry about that, won't worry about it. But there's your clean piece of paper. So this is a right corner, this is a right angle. And if you want to make a larger square, you're going to use the whole piece of paper. So all you have to do is take this top edge and fold it all the way over to the right-hand side. And when you fold it over, make sure it goes all the way to the edge. And you've now made a nice right triangle. And if you cut along the edge of the paper that's on your fold, you will see that when you cut it out, you'll have a nice square. And that's the easiest way to make a square from the regular rectangle. Say you said that's too big. Well, you can also use the other piece that you just cut off. Do the same thing. Here's my left-hand corner. I'm going to fold it all the way over so it lines up. And when I cut that from the triangle, I will have made a square. So I did, either way, it'll make your Shinobi cube that you're going to be doing for your project. So here's one, here's the other. They're both squares, okay? I also made it out of the yellow notebook paper. You could also make it out of strips out of the magazine. Here's a strip of paper out of the magazine. It was nice and colorful. So all I have to do is find the corner, fold it over, and when I cut it out along the triangle base, when I open it up, you can see I have a nice square. So that's what you're going to be doing. This one was made out of wrapping papers, and I made it kind of bigger squares. But you can see there's my Shinobi cube made with wrapping paper. This was made with some other kind of wrapping paper I had laying around. This one was just made out of the brown paper bag that you get your groceries in or a package in, so that's just a brown paper bag. This one was made with the yellow notebook paper. Okay. And here's the one I made with the white notebook paper. So it doesn't matter what kind of paper you use, just find a piece of paper and get 6 squares, and then we can continue. So after you've cut your paper, the paper needs to be cut. I cut it in a 5.5 by 5.5 inch square. The paper comes 8.5 by 11. You can use regular copy paper, but I found that that's been too thin. We also have copy paper that is called 24 weight paper. And as you can see, it comes in Astro Bright colors. This is the paper I use. After you have all the papers cut for the students, they'll need to get 6 of the squares. The squares can be 6 different colors, or you can do any combination of 2 colors, 3 each, or 3 colors, 2 each. I'm going to be demonstrating with the 6 different colors because it's easier to see the Shinobi cube when it's put together with all different colors. This is called a unit origami fold. You will be doing 6 identical folding papers to construct this fold when you're done. All of these are made with the same fold. It's just the number of papers that you use to make it. This tetrahedron is made with just 3 pieces of paper, same exact fold. This is called the colliding cubes. It is made with origami paper, so it's a little fragile. This is a 20 piece put together with the same fold. This one is 30 pieces, all made with a 5.5 by 5.5 inch square. This one was the very first one I made. It's not glued or anything, and it's been put together since 1983. It has sun faded a little bit, but this is made with an 8.5 inch square. So the larger your square, the larger your polyhedron will be. This one is made with 12 pieces. This one is made with a smaller leftover scrap squares of 16. And this is basically the same fold, just a little tiny different, so it gives you, I call, the fancy stellated icosahedron or the plainer stellated icosahedron. This is the basic fold. It's from the top view. You're going to start with a square. You're going to fold it hamburger. Make a good sharp crease. Open it up. Take the right hand edge. Fold it towards your center line. Again, making a firm crease. Take the left hand side. Fold it into the center. Making a good crease. Open up the French doors, lower right hand corner, all the way to the first fold line, making this little triangle. Rotate 180, taking the corner again, folding it to the first crease line, and then close the French doors. Taking the top right hand corner, folding it all the way across your shape, creasing, open the door, tuck in the flap. Turn 180, upper right hand corner again, all the way across the shape, crease. Now when you open this flap, you have to lift up the door a little bit and tuck it inside. Flip it, iron flat, take the lower right hand corner and bend it up to the upper right hand corner. 180, take the corner again and fold it all the way up, and that's your basic fold. Okay, so now you can see I've folded all 6 of my unit squares. What you have to realize that every one you folded, you have 2 flaps, and if you turn it over, you can see that the face of your cube has little pockets. At this point, you can decide with your students, are you going to challenge them to see if they can put it together themselves, or are you going to get them started? I'm going to show you how to do it. What the big thing to remember is every flap needs to be in a pocket, and every pocket has to have a flap. So I found the easiest way to put this together is if you hold this in your hand so that the parallelogram is going lengthwise, and you want to see the little flap there. So your pocket, the flap needs to go in that pocket, and you'll notice that it's coming in at perpendicular. You'll see one is going north to south and the other one's going east to west. So I now have the front face and the side face of my cube. If I turn it around, you will see this one that's going east to west. The one that has to make the other face would have to go north and south. Again, when I slip the flap into the pocket, you can see it forms a 90-degree angle. And you can now see the cube coming at you. Turn it one more time, select another color, and again, this one's going north to south, so I now have to go east to west. So this flap will go right in there. Now I've finished the 4 sides of my cube, so this last flap has got to go in one of the pockets of my first strip. And now you can see I have the basic sides of my cube done. So I set it on the table, tucking the flaps under. Now this one works like, you lift the flaps up so it goes all the way across. Pick up one of your pieces of paper. If the flaps are front and back, you want to put these flaps on the side, which means this flap is going to go in this pocket. And if you rotate it 180, this flap over here will go into this pocket. Now the top needs to go down. So this flap is going to go in this pocket. And then this flap is going to go on the other side. Now at this point, if they get this far along, you can even put a goodie inside. It's really fun if you have younger children and you can put a candy kiss in there, or even like bells and it'll ring. Put my cube on the bottom now, lift these flaps up, put this one across the top. There's a flap that goes in that pocket. Turn it around. If it's Easter time, you can leave them with little bunny rabbit or kitty boxes. Or to finish the Shinobi cube, you're just going to take this last flap and tuck it into its pocket. And when you get all done, you'll have a very colorful cube. So enjoy, have fun.